Well, welcome, it's Xavier in his bonsai retreat, and 19th of February. Only the third tree to be repotted this year. I've already done 2 other dawn redwoods, but you know that because you saw that a while back. What you're actually doing now is seeing the beginning of a year in the life of spooky dawn redwood. You saw the video from last year and the link's up there. You'll know that, well, I'm going a bit unorthodox with this. I don't want to remove this branch. It's grown as it is, so I was just thinking of like the spooky hollow type thing. And I've got an idea, probably somewhere, I don't know when you're seeing this, it could be Halloween, who knows. At the moment, I'm going to remove the wire that's here because I notice there's a little bit of bite in it. Hasn't been repotted since 2000. Definitely I know that the roots are going to be all over the place. I want to sort the roots out and just get it into a different pot. So, won't be very long in cold February, so let's get on with it. I'm not going to try and save on the wire here, although I can feel it coming upwards. I want to leave that free. I just know how quickly these thicken up over the spring. I've made the mistake too many times thinking, oh, I'll remember the wire, and I never do. Might actually do a little bit of pruning as well. There it is under there, it's biting there. Now, the thing about the dawn redwood is you get all these little buds in all the junctions of tree branches, and the last thing you want to be doing is knocking them off, which is why I am taking the option of cutting the wire off. Now, I know I wired out the ones at the top there right out, but I think I said when I did the wiring that I would actually be cutting right back. Now, what has happened, the wire I put on here to get these downward facing, that's happened, so we're going to get low fronds coming out this way. Got a little frond here, a little bud here, a little bud downward here. Happy with that. Little one down here, which could be interesting. And probably enough of a reason that I might end up cutting that. So happy with those. These will come out. I've got another one down here, little one. Not sure about this one. And I could end up cutting back here so that I get a bud from the junction. Again, we're looking at the front here, and I know got this great big monstrosity here, not bothered. That's what I want. And this is going to be what I call a representational impressionistic dawn redwood.
I adore the Impressionists.
We're looking at getting mood with this, so it's certainly not going to hit any of the rules that the most of us would be expecting. Now on the back here, what I liked about this, I've got loads and loads of little buds here. Got this one here, I like this one. That coming out. I would imagine this big crossing one I don't like at all, so we'll get rid of that. Probably don't like this either. So I'm actually saying to the tree, please let one of these come out. Because if you look at it from how it is there and how it crosses, I could probably even take it back even further and just do that. I like that we've got one here. Not happy with this big long straight one. Again, I want buds, probably new buds to start. So let's get rid of this big long length there and see what that causes to happen. This great big thing here, that's no good to anybody. But just got the one bud there. We'll see what happens. It may, again, it may be that it'll come right out. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Okay, well, I've been clipping about and I've realised that the front's in the wrong place. Front is now on the opposite side, so you can see into the hollow of the trunk down there. But I've actually cut what was going across, and I've got some buds on this that'll send it that way. I think that just allows us to have a little bit of a gap between those 2 dominant semi-branch trunks. So that's where I'm going to go for the repot. Just have to remember that now. Interesting, really, really fun. So as I said, it's been in this for at least 4 years. Let's see how it's... Oh yeah, what I like, lots of very, very white roots, which is telling us it's growing. But there's some really thick ones as well. We need to sort this out. Look at that great big... I mean, this, to be fair, this has never really had a root prune. I'm going to continue to muck about with this, get the roots all sorted out, And well, you know what we do with roots, and if you want to look back on the previous Dawn Redwood video, signposted up there or in the description for the playlist, then you can see more detail what I do with sorting broom. Well, I've actually gone for a round pot in the end, mainly because it gives me the depth, but it also allows me to spread these roots out a bit. I haven't fully decided on how I want to set this up, so my goal is to allow more roots on this front end to develop, and that's why I've gone for this. The other reason is I didn't have a pot quite the right depth and size to go horizontal or rectangular. And again, don't want to get any air pockets or anything like that. Probably lost about half the existing root structure. I think we're looking about there for the front. Anyway, I'm going to water that down. Probably going to go back down into the cold frame because we have got another cold snap coming in a couple of weeks. But so on the count of 3, 2, 1, I'll say hello to me in the future. Well, that should surprise you because it's now the 10th of July, and bearing in mind we have had a little bit of problems with the Dawn Redwoods about a month or so ago, which I showed in the video. This is incredible, and this is suiting me down to the ground. It's unique, it's unusual. It's also an example I've got so many different places where new buds and everything have come from, and I think for my spooky redwood this is well on its way. I do have to make some decisions on some pruning though, and again, same rules. We're in the second week of July. I looked back at my records. Last year I did it in the first week in July and got the ramification to set. So, you know, same rules. Ruby red, branch with ramification on it, you can cut back. But look at this. I just love this the whole message this is. It's a very, very I think it's really impressive, and it shows you what you can get with some Dawn Redwood growth. But let's have a spin of it and see what you think, because I am thinking of a different front now. Because if we take it all the way around this way, I am really liking what I'm seeing up there. And we've got all these lovely branching and stuff, but what I am going to do, I'm actually going to cut back, because I've got up here that branch there. Here I've also got branching here, but I've got another branch just here. I could take that whole lot off. It's an interesting choice, or I may keep that for now and just cut back. Got one here, one here. Let's just cut that back to there. Just bring it in a little bit. I want to bring it in slightly. I want it to sort of dense up. Dense up? Is that what people do? Thicken up. I'm actually surprised by just how much growth I've had on this. If we look in some of the easy decisions I can make, we've got lots of branches here, got ramification, and then big long area here. Underneath it, little bud there, perfect, absolutely perfect. For me to just get the old cloppers, cut that back there. I could do the alternate, so take inside one there off and that one off, but yeah, I'm not going to bother. We look at this one again, we've got the right colour, we've got ramification, and even the branches off of ramifying. I might in this instance, do you know what, I'm tempted, I've got something coming from below it, just take the growing tip off here and just leave it. I like the way that's covered. So if we move further up, we need to make sure it comes in a bit, so we've got, it's a bit grey. Oh, in fact, there you go, that's ruby red. We've got, it's really interesting to see it there, left, right, left. So I'm going to cut all the way back to there and use that. And looking on this, more classic, each opposite each other, and there I'm just going to take the growing tip out of that one. And leave it like that. I want to have this overhang on it. And you know, I've talked about Dawn Redwood, you've seen it already this year. I'm going to go around and systematically work out exactly what I want. I've got loads of back buds coming through, lots of stuff to work with, so I'm just going to thin this down, I think. So impressed, so happy. I'm really happy with how this looks. You let me know in the comments what you reckon. I think this is brilliant. And there's all that nice ruby red colour, so everything I do now should work out fine. So we've got little pads up there. Here again. Just might take out. Well, and again, where I can do left, right, left, so I've got those sort of alternate branch structure. It's very difficult with redwood to get that, but when you get it, yeah, take advantage of it. So I'm going to just keep on going around and doing that, and we'll see what it looks like when we come back. And I'm not going to apply wire, I promise.
Do you believe him?
Definitely one of the things I said earlier about these two branches here. Very long, and there was no buds until you got all the way to the bottom, and I said it's going to be this big overhanging, almost weeping willow look about it. But I could keep those, which I probably will do at the moment. I've got some nice growth here, but I've still got, let's be honest, this whole area where there's nothing. But if we look higher up this branch, we've got just here 1, 2 little buds coming out, and there's some fronds on them. So from the tree's perspective, I could actually get rid of those and regrow from up there, bringing it tighter and more compact. So look at growing those on, rather than concentrating on this, which is actually going to be overhanging the under branch. I'm very tempted right now to actually cut that. And again, these are the easy wins that the tree will give you if it's healthy and if you're a bit patient. It looked nothing like this earlier in the video, and now I've got all these options. So, you know, whether I take these long leggy bits off or not, I've just knotted them up. Probably, you know, when you look at what that's like, that's not giving us anything interesting. But my inspiration is a spooky sort of foreboding tree with lots of overhanging tendrils of growth. That's giving it for now. So we'll keep this until we get to Halloween maybe, and I would imagine perhaps at leaf fall I may well cut these off. We'll have a think about that. You tell me actually, do you prefer to have this long stuff here as part of the character of the tree, or would you go for getting that higher stuff developing? Because that will continue to develop regardless. I've got to keep in mind my plan for this tree, and it is going to be unique and very unusual. Okay, I'm more and more sold on the front being here. We've got two things we need to deal with. First, and the easy one, we've got this great big long vertical branch growing up from this junction here. It doesn't do anything at all, it distracts. So I either think to myself, do I remove the whole nub, or do I give the tree a chance to give me something this way? And the way I'll do that is by literally just cutting there, and this will definitely make a lovely cutting. So this is going to be put into some nice cutting soil, and hopefully will become part of my my growing Dawn Redwood collections. Now we've got this great big long area here, and if you remember, I think it had loads and loads of buds on it. Well, actually, the only buds that did anything were the ones that were near the end, which tends to be the case. I've had a look. All these ones, when you looked, and I showed you all the massive buds, I think here was another example. And all that actually happened is you've got 1, 2 developing at the end, which, to be fair, absolutely suits me down to the ground. If we look at that at the front, we've got a nice pad. I'm happy with the structure that's there, and generally how it looks here. I haven't cut much to the top, mainly because it's still green, and I want it to have a reasonable amount of greenery on it. I'm less worried about that at the moment. It looks quite intriguing, to be honest. But we have got to decide about this whole length here, because if we're looking at that coming up to be in the front, then right up here needs to come right in. Otherwise it's overhanging the whole lot, which is all right for some style. And I would probably have left this and maybe cut back to, say, this point, like that, because we've still got growth here. But what I discovered is, as well as having this really good one up here, we've got one here that's growing. So I am actually going to make that decision, cut that right back. and I think you'll find that makes a big difference. So you tell me, what do you think for the sort of developing position for my spooky redwood? I like it. I think it's got a load of character. It's also still got a degree of form to our bonsai ideas in terms of the structure and secondary primary branching. Yeah, we've got this funny situation with the parallel branches. That's the quirky bit I like. You let me know in the comments whether you like it. But ultimately, I took encouragement from Sue, thank you very much, who also liked the idea of going for this sort of Halloweeny spooky style about it, and just a little bit unique. So hey, again, your comments really do make a difference to how I do things, and sometimes just gives me that extra pat on the back to say, yeah, keep on going, keep on doing what you're doing. We'll give it a spin, because that's all I intend to do. And as I say, there won't be any more pruning done on this now until after the fronds have fallen. There. So there it is. I might actually just remove a little bit of that flaking bark, because after all, it's called a redwood for a reason. I mean, that could still be a front, you tell me. That's the original front. So, if you've enjoyed this little foray into my spooky dawn redwood, and if you've enjoyed the way it's changed just over the course of a year, then please, a big thumbs up. Anyone else who loves dawn redwood, I'm sure that you'll be the first ones to share this on your different social medias. And if you haven't subscribed, then why? Please do me a favour, hit the subscribe button, and on top of that, with your notifications, make sure you hit all, because then if you want to know what's going on with that, you won't miss it. It'll come up on your feed. You only need to have a few bonsai people on your notifications, and surely, I mean, I'll give you a bit of a mixture of everything. Not all bonsai either. So anyway, regardless of that, I wish you all the best. Happy bonsaiing. God bless. Cheers.